Well, hello and welcome back to In the Steam Shop. My name is John Rysdyke. Today's episode is continuing on with this 11-piece crankshaft build for the two-cylinder steam engine that I'm building. Here we're looking at that center section and the cutouts that I've had to do in this. The saw cut from the top side holes down to the center. That was hard. Now I'm laying out for the cutout in the top left-hand corner. How do you like my soft jaws? Trick that my dad and I used to use when we were doing clutch bearing replacements in the old cars. Yeah, I know there probably are better ways to do it, but me and my dad, this was our simple little way, and it kept the marks off of the parts that we were working with. Yeah, my dad, that was an interesting man. Very good mechanic. Came from Europe, and towards the end of World War II, part of spring of 1945, Germans had just finally been kicked out of Holland, and there wasn't much of anything left for anybody. Very few cars, very few, there wasn't much of anything, even food. But Dad was pretty resourceful, found a bunch of parts and started working, and within about a week had himself one of the first cars in the neighborhood. I think he said he had a Chevy transmission, a Ford engine, and a Buick body or something like that. My younger brother and I used to call him Horrible Hank because he always screamed at us. We couldn't figure out what was going on. Be working in the garage and he'd be just screaming at us about this, that, and the other thing. It wasn't that he was saying anything bad, he's just always screaming. One day, Mom took him to the doctor, the doctor sent him to another guy, and the other guy turned around and says, well, you need a pair of these. And he prescribed him a set of hearing aids. Once he had those hearing aids, he no longer was Horrible Hank yelling at us all the time. Poor guy had spent so many years working in metalwork and steel and trucking and such, he was half deaf. That's why he screamed at us. Trying out the power tools, but it's going to take time. Anyways, on with the crank pins. This part I should have deleted, but I didn't. Just a little bit too lazy to turn around and reach in and slow the lathe down a little bit. I discovered out how to do some more of this really good close-up work. I've always been using a very large tripod, which I found hard to mount anywhere in the shop. So I decided I was going to look at a few of the things I had around the shop, and I came up with an idea. I had this tiny mag base, really small, and I had modified it with a 1/4-inch thread on it to fit an indicator, because if this thing was so small, my indicators wouldn't fit. But I just found it too small and cumbersome to use. Turned around, I just threaded on my camera onto this and mounted it closer to the work so I can show you what I'm doing. I'm impressed with my close-ups, and I'm impressed with my work now. Turning down to the shoulder, that's the spacer for the bearing. Even got a whole bunch of other tricks I've learned in this editing, zooms and fades and stuff like that. It's getting to be a lot of fun to do this, but it is time consuming, very, very time consuming. trimming the end. These are going to end up being welded into the crank webs. Enough room for a solid weld, and then I can grind smooth.
And look at that! I think I got a crank! I think I got a crank! Wow!